we have a awesome unboxing and tabletop review of the Icarus Precision Grip Modules. Then I have the P365 grip module as well.
See, nice grips there.
Welcome back to the Concealed Carry channel, everybody. I am Grant McLean. Thank you so much for joining us today. We have a awesome unboxing and tabletop review of the Icarus Precision Grip Modules. I have the full-size 320 grip module, and we'll talk about some of the other grip modules I have. And then I have the P365 grip module as well. These were purchased by me for projects that I am doing, so I'm going to give you, of course, my absolute honest feedback because I want to make sure that you can make a well-educated decision on whether or not this is going to be for you. Before we jump in there, I want to say thank you so much to you Patreon supporters. You guys are awesome. I absolutely cannot wait to see who's going to win that Traeger grill. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, go down into the description, click on the top link. It'll take you to our Patreon page, and you can help support the channel in however you want to, and you'll have an opportunity to win that Traeger grill. That's our quarterly giveaway for this quarter, and every quarter we do a different giveaway. Also, you get exclusive content beyond the black shirt if you want to, which is talking about more of the other cool stuff that's not just Concealed Carry channel content.
Going beyond the black shirt.
It's a nice. So anyways, thank you guys so much for supporting the channel. You have been awesome. Also, Northwest Armory, you guys are great. If you need to order a gun, go to nwarmory.com, have it shipped to your local FFL, or go into the store, tell them that Grant sent you in, say hey to him, also say hi to Khaki. He's a great doggy. And then, of course, Exxon Targets, you guys are awesome. If you need to order some awesome reactive targets, go to exxontargets.com after the review. And if you live in the Northwest like we do, it's great because they're weather resistant. So anyways, let's jump into kind of the unboxing portion as we do. Inside this box, I have the ACE 365 Parker Mountain Machine Pro. When you order one of these, it doesn't come in anything special. It's just probably a U-line type of shipping box. Let's go ahead and pop that open. All right. So inside the box, you'll see here, it has a little Icarus Precision Parker Mountain Machine sticker, and then you have a little card there, some foam, and voila, there it is. There is the grip module. We'll start off with the P365 grip module, and then we'll talk about the big boy here for the P320. So the P365 grip module that I have here is the Parker Mountain Machine Pro, and this is designed to work with the Parker Mountain Machine Micro Comp. So if you have the standard slide with the threaded barrel and the Parker Mountain Machine Comp, this is designed to be able to fit that comp inside of the front rail of that grip module to give it more of a finished, refined look. And that's why I bought this. Now, I have put my P365 XL grip module in there. I have put my 365 XL slide on there, and I have shot this, and it functions very well. I'm just putting this aside because I'm still waiting on my Parker Mountain Comp, which seems like forever, but you know how it is right now in the gun industry. Guns, accessories, anything gun related is very difficult to get. So I've put this back into the box, but I didn't want to wait because I have no ETA on that comp when it's going to be here, but I didn't want to wait to show you guys, you know, if you're looking for something like this, what to expect. It is a completely stripped lower or grip module, meaning there is no mag release. So you will need to swap out the factory mag release, or this is a great opportunity if you're thinking about upgrading your mag release with, say, like an Armory Craft. This is a good opportunity to do that. Now, these are billet aluminum. They're machined from 7075 aluminum. They look fantastic. The machining is beautiful. The attention to detail is beautiful. It does have a little bit different feel to it, a little bit more boxy, which I'll show you in some photos here between this and the P365 factory polymer grip module. I will say this, I was not very impressed with the coating. Just from the short amount of time that I was shooting this gun, already the coating is starting to wear through, and it's even worse on the other grip module that I have shot more. So I would tell you this: if you are planning on carrying this, which probably will be, I mean, just from your belt or your holster or things like that, this coating is going to wear. It's not going to rust because it's aluminum, of course, but I would say maybe consider getting a more robust coating put on this, and you can order these from Icarus raw, so that way you just don't have to do that extra step of stripping it down. So that's probably the only negative that I found with this. The price on this is $250, $249.99. I wouldn't necessarily say that that's a negative, because the machining is beautiful, and of course good machining costs money, so that's not too crazy there. It is going to be more expensive, obviously, than, you know, the polymer grip modules from SIG, but I think for what this is, it's hard necessarily to compare going to a billet aluminum to a polymer molded grip module that maybe doesn't have quite the wow factor that this will. Now, if you decide, because there's about, I think, 4 different models that fit the P365. So you have the regular 365, then you have the XL Hybrid, then you have the XL, and then you have the Parker Mountain Pro. If you decide to order one of these, and the front rail or the front part of the grip module extends further out than the factory one does, and I'll show you this. I'll just put these on top of each other like this. So you'll see how much further that sits out here. Do not expect that that is going to fit in your holster, or quite frankly, I have yet to still find a holster that this will fit into. That can be a deciding factor right there, because as you know, if you get a custom-made holster, it can get pretty spendy. Well, that's all relative. It'll probably run you around $110, $125 for a custom Kydex holster. But I feel like the person who would be buying something like this at $250, so they've already bought the gun, they bought the Parker Mountain comp, they bought the grip module, now they're getting a custom holster. Everything is custom. So of course, if it starts with custom, it's gonna cost money. And this is definitely for that type of person who's like, hey, I got the money, it's cool, I'm gonna keep this gun for a long time, I want it to be exactly what I want it to be. Well, I don't necessarily know that that's a bad investment. You know, as long as you use it and you love it, who cares? But keep that in mind. If you do get one of these that extends further out than the factory grip module, I do expect that that's probably not going to fit in just any holster that you get. We'll start at the front here, and you can see that there's a 1913 pick rail, which is awesome. So this is going to let you use other accessories, because the way that the factory SIG rail is, you're pretty much using proprietary mounts from SIG for their accessories. Not to say their accessories are bad, it just, this is going to give you more options. The trigger guard is very reminiscent of the factory trigger guard. I don't see a huge difference there. The undercut is slightly higher here on the aluminum. On the other side, you'll see the slide lock lever. It has kind of a little ramp to it in front of it, and this one kind of has, it's been machined in to the actual grip module itself. So you can get a little bit more positive of a grip when manipulating that slide lock and pushing it up to lock back the slide. Pushing it down, it's going to be the exact same as what you're normally used to. The beaver tail is extended a little bit further than the factory 365 XL, and that's going to give you a little bit more surface area into kind of the webbing of your hand here. The weight, I should talk about this before I forget, because we're going to talk about a little bit of recoil management. The weight on this is 3.9 ounces. Now, the factory grip module is 2.3 ounces or so, and I know Icarus says, oh, it's twice as heavy. That's going to help, you know, mitigate the recoil. It's 1.6 ounces more. So yeah, it's technically almost twice as heavy, but 1.6 ounces. That's not a whole lot. And would I say that the weight helps mitigate the recoil when shooting this? No. But being that this is a little bit more boxy of a grip, and the beaver tail extends and it's a little bit wider, you see it's a little bit more flat and wider versus rounded than the factory. I feel that the surface area of the gun in your hand, the grip in your hand, does help with the recoil management. I wouldn't necessarily say the weight does. So if you're looking at something that's really going to be heavy on there, I wouldn't say that. Now, being that you have a 1913 rail, if you decide you want to throw on a light and add weight to the front of it, that's going to be a different story. The grip on this is very cool. It's almost like reminds me of like a mini diamond plate finish. It looks pokey, but it's not. It is actually a very nice grip. And I'm not a huge fan of aluminum grips, but this I am a big fan of. It's very robust feeling. It's got a nice grip, nice texture to it. You can see on the edges here, it is a little bit more boxy. It's not like thicker than the factory module, but it's just a little bit more boxy around the edges. That I don't mind too much. I have medium-sized hands. I think if you did have small hands, that could be a little bit of a deciding factor, but I don't think it's going to be that big of a deciding factor with the other aesthetic and functionality pieces that you're getting with it as well. If you have larger hands, I think that this might be the thing that you were just looking for, because it does fill out the hand a little bit better than the factory one if you have larger hands. Now, at the base here, we have a flared magwell, just like what you would see on the 365 XL. And the flared magwell does look very nice with the flush 12-round magazines. You can see that looks very good. It does look a little awkward with the 15-rounders, being that it is not the same texture as the actual extended mag, because that's pretty much the same texture as the factory, grip module there. So it's one of those things that if you plan on running the factory extended mags, well, you just have to be okay with that. But with the flush fit 12-round mags, that looks very nice, very well finished off. So they did a fantastic job on that. So that is going to be the P365 grip module for you there. And then, of course, you go to Parker Mountain Machine to get that micro comp when it comes available for this particular setup, and it's going to look sweet. You can actually see photos of it on Icarus Precision's website for that hybrid combo setup. And then you can order other grip modules if you want to go a different route. Let's go ahead and plop on the slide here so you can see that. So this is how I had it set up temporarily till I get the Parker Mountain comp in. And this is the XL slide on that Parker Mountain Pro grip module. And you can see the slide hangs off the front a little bit. The lines don't quite line up. If you decide you want to get their grip module for the P365 XL, where the grip module extends all the way out to the end of the slide, it looks really sharp and the lines do line up very well on it. So I think that that's a really good option if you want to go with, the Icarus grip module for your XL. If you do have the Romeo on there, it doesn't quite match the stippling or the texture on the Romeo Pro. But again, if you don't have that already, you can also switch up to a different red dot like the Holosun 407K, and that would look really sharp on there too. Let's go ahead and set that aside. Let's talk about this one. Now, I have shown this in, I think, a couple of my reviews at this point. The latest one I want to say was the Pro Cut Slide, and I had some comments on there like, man, that thing is freaking awesome. It is freaking awesome. And I got this as kind of a build that I was doing. I purchased this one myself. There is no, relationship between myself and Icarus. I just wanted a sweet ass grip module because I'm doing a kind of a build on this. Same thing like what I mentioned earlier, the coating on this kind of sucks, and you can see how it's already wearing there, just from the few times I've had this out at the range. I'm not trying to put too much wear on this because I'm going to send this out to have it refinished because the coating sucks that bad. But the machining on this is awesome. Before I start throwing slides on top, I want to, kind of give you an idea. If you decide that you're going to be upgrading your factory grip module to this grip module, here's what you're going to be looking at. So here's kind of the older gen, like the P250 style, earlier P320 style grip modules. So you see it's a little bit rounded like this, not quite as boxy as the X frame. You can definitely see that beaver tail is a lot different. This comes in different sizes. So the one I have here is a large, and it comes in mediums and smalls. This feels like a medium. It doesn't necessarily say that it's a medium, but if I grab the different grip modules, this feels like a medium, which fits my medium-sized hands very well. So there you go. There's the older style. Here's the X frame there. See that? And here is the TXG right here. Weight-wise, these frames are going to weigh in around 4 ounces. The TXG, fully loaded with the tungsten weight and the flared magwell here, is going to weigh in at 16 ounces. This guy here is going to weigh in at 9.25 ounces. So if you kind of want a happy medium in there, this I think is a very good option. Now these sell for $329. I think that it's, well, I mean the machining is beautiful on here. But between, they have, Sig Sauer has the AXG aluminum grip module at $399. They have the TXG, which is going to be hovering around anywhere from $250 to $299 I've seen. At $329, I feel that this is not a bad option, and I don't feel that it's overpriced by any means, especially when you look at all of the detail and machining. Yeah, the coating is not the greatest, and I've mentioned that before, but I think that this is actually appropriately priced. It does not come from the factory with the mag release, just like its little brother, the P365 module. So you want to swap that over from, your factory grip module, or again, it's a good opportunity to upgrade to something like from Armory Craft. The FCU swaps over, no problem. You just take down a lever and pop it on in, and it fits beautifully, functions beautifully. I'll toss on a couple slides here so you can see what we're looking at. Say you are going from the Legion, or you bought a Legion slide and you have an FCU in it, so you pop it in there. Here's what you're going to be looking at. So we have the 5-inch bull barrel, we have the Legion slide on the Icarus Pro Competition grip module. So this is their ACE 320 Pro Competition. They make this in other configurations too. So you have the Pro Competition, you have their Pro Carry, you have their Carry, you have a bunch of different ones. But I wanted this one for a specific build, and I'll show you the slide that I'm going to be using on it. So you can see the cuts here on the grip module match the cuts on they complement at least the cuts on the top of the slide there very well. It looks great with that slide on there. This is a smooth shooting gun. So I've shot this gun like this, and it shoots very well. It is definitely lighter than the TXG. I wouldn't say that it shoots better than with the TXG, but it certainly looks freaking sweet. I love the undercut right here, which we'll talk about in a second. I'm going to show you guys real quick. Here's how I'm going to have this gun built out. So when I talked about the Pro Cut slide on one of my reviews, this is where the Icarus got a lot of attention. Here is the 4.7-inch slide, and I have a Faxon barrel in there. Kind of that fluted, kind of flame fluted barrel in black. And that is the build that I'm going for here. Now, because I didn't care for the finish on the grip module so much, I'm actually going to have this sent out, and I'm going to be doing a black chrome on this gun, and it is kind of inspired by Darth Vader's helmet, because you can kind of see this flared magwell looks kind of like Darth Vader's helmet. Very cool. So that's what it's going to be finished off as, and I'll update you guys with this build when it is complete. Same as the P365 build. When that is complete, I'll update you guys on that. So you can really see how now all these accents are very cohesive. They look fantastic. I love, of course, the window cuts and stuff, because you can see the accents on the barrel very well. This thing is a freaking showstopper. When people see this, it's awesome. We'll start at the front here of the grip module, and again, you have the 1913 pick rail. On the bottom, they did some cuts which complement these cuts on the side, and that's just to kind of reduce a little weight there. Of course, on the front of the trigger guard and on the bottom of the trigger guard is probably one of the things that people are like, whoa, let me look at that. So you can see you have more cuts, those kind of oval, elongated oval cuts on that trigger guard to, kind of put that all together. But you also have some nice grip at the front of the trigger guard and a little bit of a hook there too. And then on the bottom, this is really cool. So you have a super high undercut there. So you're getting your hand super high. But then also for your support hand, you also have an undercut for your support hand. And that is awesome. Getting back on target is so easy. The gun feels so good. It's almost like you took your hands and somebody said, oh, how do you grip a gun? And you go, I grip it like this. And then they just, filled your hands with aluminum and you let go and it was this. And it just it just sits in there, cradles in there. It's awesome. I love that. Going back into the grip area itself here, you have kind of an indent here for your thumb, which I like because I do have trouble in reaching the mag release with my thumb because I don't have very big hands. So I do like that I can just kind of move my thumb down and get a nice positive grip on that mag release. Like I said earlier, it doesn't come with a mag release, so you'll want to, source one or swap it over probably before you order the grip module itself, just to make sure that you can get it, especially in times right now. Same type of grip texture as you're going to find on the little P365s ones, kind of that micro diamond plate finish. It looks pokey, but it's not. It is a fantastic feel. And of course, with the magwell, this is all one piece in there, and it is sweet. It feels incredibly ergonomic. It doesn't feel bulky because they've kind of cut the front off of it, which I do like a lot, and it gives it obviously a very cool look. Like I said, I'm going to do kind of a Darth Vader. If Darth Vader had a gun, this is what he would carry, you know what I mean? Kind of nerd out like that for a quick sec. But I love the beaver tail. Now, those of you who know me know I love 1911s, and this beaver tail is very reminiscent of a 1911. It's awesome. If I ever have this gun on me in a holster and this is all people see, their eyes just look like microscope on the gun. They're like, what is that? I've never seen. I just thought, oh, it's a P320. They're like, no, it's not. You're lying. I know. I am. Just the inside is. But what a freaking sweet setup. Now, the magazines, one of the things that I like about this is it doesn't really matter what P320 you're coming from when you decide you want to upgrade to this. So say you have the old school style magazines with the rounded fronts. No problem. Looks great. Say you have the Legion mag in there. No problem. Does look a little funky because it's, square and this is rounded. Then you have the X21 rounder magazine with kind of like the flat front to it. There you go. This one does have a little bit to be desired because obviously you have a beautiful aluminum grip module and then you have a plastic magazine with a different texture on it. I have put extended magazine base plates from other companies into this, like the Armory Craft one. I keep mentioning them. They do fantastic work. If you know any of their stuff, you know exactly what I'm talking about. So I've put their extended base plates on magazines into this, and they seem to function just fine too. So if you do want an extended mag and you don't want the polymer, I would recommend to probably go that route and get the factory 17 round mags, get the aluminum base plates, the extended base plates, to kind of finish this all off, send it in, get everything color coded, cohesive. But I'm very excited to have this built out the way that I want it to. I feel like it's going to definitely be a gun that I'm going to keep for a long time, and I'm going to love it even more because I'm not going to be worried about the finish getting kind of screwed up, especially on such a beautiful piece. But anyways, you guys let me know, is this something that, you know, you would upgrade with? Is it something that you have? Stuff like that, you know. I definitely want to hear from people that own it, considered it, did buy it, didn't buy it, do you hate it, love it, so on and so forth. That's definitely going to help out viewers who are considering this, to help them make a well-educated decision on whether or not this is going to be a good fit for them. And that helps out, of course, the channel a lot, because YouTube sees that we have a lot of kind of action on the channel and we get higher in the rankings. But make sure to hit that like. Of course, if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe, because we have a ton of great content coming out all the time to do with concealed carry guns. Go ahead and go down into the comments now, click that link to Patreon, check out how you can support the channel. We greatly appreciate it. If you do need to get a gun, go to nwarmory.com, order it up, have it shipped to your local FFL, or pop into the store locally. And go to X-Hunt Target, support those guys. They have been great to the channel. xhunttargets.com, and you can order up some awesome reactive targets. But other than that, I look forward to showing you guys our upcoming reviews, and we'll see you next time here on the Concealed Carry channel.